What's up, everybody? Schlorpa here. Chances are, if you're watching this video, then you have made the decision within at least the past week and a half to play the free-to-play pirated CSGO knockoff, Valorant. You decided that your 5,000 hours on Bob the Builder Fix-It fun wasn't enough, and you needed to get shot. What the fuck are we doing today? Oh yeah, Valorant talk. Valorant is one of nature's most horrifying inventions, and clearly popular content creators are starting to realize the burden Valorant places on society, ranging from overpriced gun bundles to being a host to the eater parasites that leech off the teats of swift play. So rather than quit the cause of my declining bank account being more broke than an Ethiopian lemonade stand, I'm going to be giving my honest opinion about the state of this circle of hell. I'm sure you all are wondering why I am an eligible bachelor when talking about my opinion, but not to worry.
I have a permit.
This just says I can do what I want.
That's right, I'm a certified opinionologist with over 800 confirmed based opinions, and I feel like I owe you some long-awaited Valorant slander. But moving on to the facts, let's talk a bit about why more people are leaving Valorant than my house after I eat my 15th Taco Bell bean burrito. Recently, a well-known Valorant YouTuber named Eggwick released a video titled I'm Done with Valorant. This 8-minute long video gives a brief overview of Eggwick's thoughts and opinions about the game. His first Valorant video was released just over 3 years ago to date, having posted it on August 6th of 2020. Eggwick is, or I guess now was, the Valorant content king, constantly coming up with new custom game modes such as Protect the VIP and his undercover player videos. His originality surpassed most other creators, and every video is extremely unique and new. Following up after Eggwick was WestJet, releasing a similar, albeit shorter, video titled I'm Quitting Valorant 2, Not Lying. Known for his gun and knife skin ranking and overall Valorant commentary, WestJet has been making Valorant videos for over 3 years, the first one being released back in May of 2020. His content thrived off his worst to best videos, where his commentary and fun opinions resonated with a large portion of the Valorant community and sparked discussions among fans. Despite not having played the game in ages, he still remains as one of the more popular and well-known Valorant content makers. Finally, at the end, we got a third person who announced they were leaving the Valorant scene. Judgment, the KO connoisseur, released a 20-minute long video of him talking with the Master of Phoenix XTR. While Judgment may be the newest of these three YouTubers in terms of when he started uploading, that having been on Halloween of 2021, he quickly became extremely popular based on his insane KO outplays and flashing techniques. He is featured in many YouTubers' videos and is widely regarded as one of the best KO mains to date. It was unexpected to see 3 content creators announce they were leaving the Valorant scene within the span of 24 hours, yet it was not a surprise. A lot of people have had issues with Riot and the Valorant development team for ages, purely based on how lax the dev team is on a lot of stuff. No disrespect, but we definitely see that they love Valorant's sibling game, League of Legends, a lot more, leaving the Valorant community with many unanswered pleas and questions. We have issues with the repetition, the content cap, smurfing, the ranked experience, incentive to play, and agent depth. Yeah, this game's got a shit ton of issues I am just overjoyed to discuss. Surely Riot will listen to the community after all these people decide to leave. It's time to start talking about the content cap. Simply put, content creators struggle with making new and original content. Valorant doesn't provide much outside of a few game modes, including the most popular ones: ranked, unrated, and deathmatch. Sure, there are more game modes, but realistically, who plays those? Escalation, Team Deathmatch, and Spike Rush are kinda just there, and are really only there for people to make quick and uninteresting TikTok videos. They even removed possibly one of the best game modes, Replication. No matter what you're playing, every game mode people play is basically the same. There are not a lot of huge changes between what I'm dubbing as the big 3 of Valorant game modes. First, let's talk about Unrated. Unrated is just the basis of all game modes. It's a 5 versus 5 where it's the first to 13 rounds, swapping sides 12 in, and having a maximum of 25 rounds. Similarly, we have Ranked. The ranked experience is basically the same, the only huge difference being that it's either the first to 13 rounds, or in the occurrence that you tie up the score 12 to 12, it goes into overtime with the team that wins by 2 rounds. The one game mode that is vastly different is Deathmatch, which is a free-for-all game mode with the winner being the first to 40 kills. It practically exists just to be a warm-up for Ranked. In fact, that's basically the point of the other game modes. Because Valorant is a game that's meant to be competitive at its core, it feels as though everything else bases itself off how it affects Ranked, either acting as a warm-up or some sort of practice, whether you win or lose. Comparing Valorant to other games such as CSGO and Fortnite, we can truly start to see the limitations Valorant places on us. CSGO has workshop maps and mods, while Fortnite gives you the ability to build your own fucking maps. Hell, even Overwatch 2, as much as it pains me to say it, has community content that is almost unparalleled. So many games give people creative freedom to choose what they do, what they make, and even allows creators to milk new concepts and ideas before moving on to the next one. Valorant barely has any custom options in their own custom game mode. All there is the ability to turn on infinite ammo, money, abilities, auto respawn, and invulnerability. Truly the epitome of customization. Eggwick brings up a good point in his video about this, stating that it would be okay, the lack of creative options, if there was more to do in the game besides just playing ranked. But going off what's available, in terms of content, there isn't really a lot Valorant content provides because of these restrictions. Either you're watching educational videos, montages, smurf content, and as much as I hate to say it, e-data content. And even then, e-data content is more people being cringe while playing Valorant rather than what I would classify as Valorant content. For a lot of higher elo players, both Eggwick and Judgment comment that smurfing content is just easy to make consistently and over a shorter period of time, as well as the type of content that does well on YouTube. Judgment even comments that a lot of smurfing content is done because of the lack of creative freedom the game provides. And unfortunately, these videos influence normal players to think smurfing is okay and gets them into doing it themselves. What's even worse is that no one in the lobby enjoys smurfing. While that one person is just chilling with their 40 kills, the other 9 people in the lobby are absolutely miserable. My favorite banana and educational Valorant coach, Woohoosian, says it perfectly.
Everyone enjoys laughing at a Radiant player dunking on a bunch of helpless gold players. Do you know who isn't laughing? The 9 gold players in that lobby who just had 30 minutes of their time wasted.
Those 9 low elo players are not getting any better with that one smurf. One team gets destroyed, both mentally and during the match, by an immortal smurf, losing elo against their control without a fighting chance. The other team must sit back and watch, not learning from their own mistakes because one person's raw aim makes up for any mistakes these low elo players made. Smurfs aren't low elo players, and they think on a whole other level low elo can't comprehend because it's something they never had to get accustomed to. In fact, some Smurfs don't even use their brain, opting for raw aim and character utility to secure frags. Overall, everyone ends up feeling miserable and as if their time was wasted. I feel like this topic is a great segue into the ranked portion of Valorant. I think Eggwick had a really great opinion on ranked that I want to repeat and even expand upon a little.
I do think that the main problem with rank is that there isn't really any incentive to grind it once you've reached your goals because the rewards just aren't fulfilling enough.
Eggwick mentions that the rewards for ranked are so bland and basic that it's barely a reward. The same gun buddies have been used since episode 2, and nothing has changed besides some letters and numbers on the back. There's no new banners, Radianite, or useful rewards I would want to grind for. Judgment makes the statement that there's no incentive to play based solely on the rewards. There's no gun skin or player banner to act as a reward for your hard work. In fact, WestJet mentions that if you hit Radiant, there's no point, no incentive to play the game anymore. You've reached what you wanted. You've peaked. Why try to go further? Why go through more of that sweaty grind and misery after you have what you wanted? Fun. It's almost as if you have to duo or trio queue in hopes to avoid smurfs and toxic teammates. Soloing the grind is just a lot of stress and isn't a fun way to play. It's as if playing with others makes the game bearable. Even then, having a good time isn't guaranteed. At the end of the day, you're fighting for a PNG image and an attachment for a digital gun. Eventually, that won't be rewarding enough. That, overall, is nothing. I can't hold it in my hands or put it on a shelf. It isn't tangible, and eventually, it will disappear after I stop playing the game. With the current standing of competitive play, that's just how it's gonna go. With CS2 coming out soon, how do we think this game's ranked system will compare to that? The Valorant ranked hype will die out, and Riot will lose a lot of players. One thing Judgment spoke about earlier that neither Eggwick nor WestJet mentioned is agent depth. Characters such as Phoenix and KO lack a lot of depth and tend to be extremely two-dimensional. They are stiff as characters, lacking the versatility that could allow them to stray from the roles they occupy. You can learn Molly and Flash lineups, but what else can you do with that character at the end of the day? On the contrary, characters like Yoru, Neon, and Astra are complex characters in comparison. They have a very open kit and a decent learning curve and skill ceiling. Their intense play potential and incredibly gimmicky kits make them not only versatile, but fun. You can't fairly compare them to characters such as Brimstone or KO. While some people like to one-trick, and there's nothing wrong with that, sometimes characters get boring. Sova is a very basic character at his core. He's good, but he can only be entertaining to play for a certain length of time. Just watching Sova gameplay videos gets boring. This dude throws a shock dart into the air and holy shit, is that a second shock dart? No way these hit the spike and what the shit? Surely it doesn't work again. No fucking way. I couldn't imagine that I would get bored of this repetitive content and realize that the character is actually extremely basic and dry, and that the creativity you're allowed is so limited that the excitement comes from results already tested and confirmed to work, making every single video you make a complete replica of those before it. Truly the pinnacle of original content. Watching Sova gameplay is the equivalent of experiencing national terrorism. But if that wonderful example doesn't prove my point, I'm sure I can pull up a vast majority of one-tricks who play characters like Sova, Reyna, or Brimstone and show you the pure repetition of the content. There are just some agents who are about as bland as a piece of drywall painted with the dusty breast milk of your epileptic grandmother. With the game slowly advancing and branching out, I do hope they, the development team, decide not to fuck up the direction they started to go in. I feel like, overall, the state of this game is about as stable as a papier-mâché bomb shelter. The amount of stuff in this game barely hits the bare minimum, and those of us who wish to explore creative outlets are left to go fuck ourselves. Seriously, I would love to release Valorant content, but what is there to release that would be interesting, entertaining, and engaging? What would be new and original content? Sure, I could post funny moments and highlights, or my journey as the prod of Plat trying to hit Diamond, but realistically, how long will it take for that to get boring? What Valorant content would hold my audience long enough for me to make something out of it? At the end of the day, blame Riot. The limits placed on, and in, this game will be the reason it fades into obscurity. Hopefully the devs get the hint with 3 people leaving so quickly within the span of each other. I sure hope they don't fumble the bag with this one and instead take this as a reason to work on and improve the game from what it is to what the players want it to be. I hope this acts as a huge reality check for the Valorant team and encourages them to take the leap and reach out. Even if it doesn't end up working for them, at least they gave the idea a try and can use that criticism to help them make changes in the future. Remember, I love all these creators dearly and will absolutely miss their Valorant content, but I'm glad they're doing what will make them happy. Burnout is truly something that is terrible, and it's so much better for them to go on to do something they want to do. I really do wish them the best with whatever they decide to go from here. Even if it probably doesn't mean much, I hope they know I support them 100% with their decisions. I hope they can find something new that makes them happier, whether it's branching out their content or leaving the content creation route, even though I hope it doesn't come to that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and it helped you to not get dicked down by the current state of Valorant. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Schlorpa, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.
I won't break any bones, focus on the motion. I won't break any bones, focus on the motion. I won't break any bones, focus on the motion. I won't break any bones, focus on the motion.